by Prophet.
Well, inside track here to the point for the side of the Toronto Defiant. Stun forward on a Sharyk.
That trance a little bit questionable here from Neko. I don't think that's going to be able to turn this, especially with Nuss grabbing the double. But everyone's heard the term getting worked in the neutral, and that's what happened to Sharyk there. It's not about a 1v1 matchup, Orion versus Orion. It's about displacing your opponent's team's Rhine, killing him early, and that's what we just saw there. That's how Sharyk died early. I'm going to take a look at Nuss, who's able to turn this, or rather guarantee this. The trance comes out, and he's like, nope, you're not recontesting this one.
Yeah, and I mean, without that boop coming through for Nuss, perhaps Toronto Defiant can hold on a bit longer, if not win that fight. But Nuss single-handedly shutting it down and making Neko look a bit foolish with that Transcendence coming through.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad choice if they could try to turn it, but when two die instantly, you know, you do look foolish, as you say.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. God's going low, gets that Zarya bubble to stay in the mech for a little bit longer. Might have to retreat back to try to get that Mega back, but they know that he is not in the fight. Bomb's going to be coming through as the double grab comes in. Shield gets raised by Jester just in time to block that one out. And Fury still comes up with the kill. Shattered down from Sharyk. Managed to find two, but the beat's going to be there. So London Spitfire still looking to win out the fight. Nothing but blue in that kill feed. They maintain control. They have the lead.
Yeah, well, Sharyk again, you know, in a great position to shatter, but it was ill-timed with the Brigitte already being dead there and London having positional advantage. Sometimes you see those moments where the shield is dropped, you see an opportunity, and you feel like you've got to take it. But, you know, that might be a communication issue in terms of how the rest of the team is trying to operate around this fight. Notice Fury's position up here, looking to try to knock some of the members off, but he is spotted and retreats. Nuss up doing the same exact thing. Spitfire is playing aggressively far out right now.
Yeah, and Birdring's just going to be taken down. Sharyk swinging away, managed to find that in exchange of the Brigittes, but now Jester taken down. Prophet trying to claw this one back so they can maintain control. Has come up with that double kill so far, but he can see that the retreat call overall coming through, at least playing a little bit more passively, are the Spitfire. Prophet goes on a bit of a solo mission.
Super high energy too. I mean, he is blowing them up.
Yeah, and now they will be able to push forward. They shut him down just before that grab comes in. It's at the cost of 2, now 3 members on the side of Toronto, so 90% still moving up. London Spitfire might just be the closest
Defiant got the first kill in that fight too, because Spitfire was split 3 ways between Nuss and Fury off on their own. Prophet carries them back into it. There's just no way. Almost 6 ults for the Spitfire now.
Nearly the boop up there onto Gods. Does manage to zip his way back up top. Shadow down straight into the shield of Sharyk. So one ult going to be used, but now the grab comes in. Transcendence out from Neko as they try to stay alive. Answering grab coming through, but Fury says no. Helps take that one away, and the pin is good on I'm37. So advantage still here for the London Spitfire. Now 2 men down on the side of the Toronto Defiant, just trying to hold out hope, but Jester, he's going to shut that down with a shatter. Cleanup kills coming through. OT plummets away 100 to 39%. Spitfire are able to take Lighthouse.
Spitfire are just dismantling Toronto Defiant piece by piece, removing the front line. The Western players often getting caught and killed first. Sharyk repositioned to the side. They're killing him when he doesn't have that protection, or they're finding and demaking Gods when he's isolated. Prophet's, the healing they're putting onto Prophet right now is keeping him alive, getting him up to high energy. He died in that last fight, but not before doing so much incredible, impactful damage that led to the grab they had there at the end. Heading into Ruins, you can see a little bit more flexibility. Rosters here, potentially something like a Sombra could certainly be valuable here. You could see a Winston variation, but neither of these teams are heading down that path. So let's see if the Defiant can keep those tanks closer this time. That's their backbone, and they cannot let them get isolated. Nuss is doing a great job of finding them. Fury's doing a great job of pulling them away.
Meeting just here, top side of the point. These Rhines just trying to dance around the statue. Nuss dropping down, looking for the boop. Doesn't knock them into the Spitfire team. Just looking to separate them a little bit, but now pushes Sharyk forward. He's going to try to charge back, but with that animation, standing still for so long, will get taken down. Fury comes up with a double. And Aid just going to go off the side. Oh, Nuss, can he recover? Can he recover? He's trying.
He should get
He's
that.
so close, and he's got it.
So Aid is also someone I want to talk about, because they've been running him over Roki their last 2 matches, and he was normally the Moira specialist you'd see for specific timings on control, but he's a much more passive player than Roki was, and you could see in that matchup, Nuss is definitely getting a lot more done. He's isolating these targets.
Yep, doing a good job of it. Gesture. Getting those bubble shields still healthy. Feels comfortable to play up here onto the side. Another shatter going to be blocked, though. Sharyk with the shield range. Just managed to deny that one away, but Osin pops Gods out of the mech in the meantime, and now that means the grab can come through for free. Out from Prophet. Shatter gets dropped in from Sharyk. Again, doesn't find anything. They wrap around the corner just in time to keep themselves safe. Bomb dropped onto the high ground. Fury only going to be able to knock Gods out of the mech again. London to retreat back over onto the point, just trying to keep control of this, but Fury, a little late to the party, will get popped out and taken down.
All right, now let's see. Oh, a very heavy commitment.
Managed to find Bedosin. The shield comes in from Nuss's sound barrier. He does not die, but the point does get flipped over into the favor of the Toronto Defiant for now. London's still playing far forward. We'll just go ahead and retreat back for the moment as they keep getting chipped down lower and lower.
Yeah, well, the Defiant need to be careful not to chase too far here, though, because this could certainly turn on its head like a dime. Especially with that Graviton Surge being used so early, or rather so late in that fight by Ivy, but perhaps unnecessarily. He's got high energy though, and the Spitfire will retreat and regroup. For the first time, Nuss won't have control of the high ground. He's trying to knock members back, so they're going to have to take a slower approach. He's trying to get up there. You can see him on the right side there, and Sharyk does get out. Nice retreat.
Here, onto the low ground, have that bomb. The Transcendence, now the rally going to be up. I'm 37 popping that one immediately. They play forward up the ramp a bit. London operating as a bit of a death ball as they approach this point. Now a little bit more spread out as Prophet is just trying to get that grab online.
They've got to transfer it though.
Oh, Gesture! Dangerously low. They barely try to keep him alive. Now the grab is coming in and Shark's going to be taken down. They baited him forward with Gesture's HP bar. Knew that they could keep him topped up. Don't even have to use the Transcendence for it. And Toronto Defiant, the blood was in their eyes. They push up to try to get that kill, and now it costs them potentially.
So smart by London Spitfire.
They finally manage to find him. The grab comes in, does catch them here. Sound barrier out to try to win the fight. They might actually be able to extend this. Bedosin goes for it, but Prophet's already killed himself off with those right clicks. So the Transcendence doesn't really mean anything. Fury just going to be zipping back. Bedosin gets tagged up. The pin coming through. Manages to catch him. Toronto Defiant, they do not lose the point there. So despite the bait tactics coming in from the London Spitfire, Toronto Defiant managed to come out on top.
And they did it because of the isolation there. They knew that Bedosin wasn't in position to trance. The grab was smart this time. The previous grab from Ivy, a little bit, unnecessary, but this one was really the one that turned it. And the Spitfire don't have great tools to retake this. They're going to have to do it in a longer fight, and the sound barrier will be required. They don't have a rally. We're getting close to that grab for Prophet. That's their win condition.
The bomb is up over the top here from Gods, looking to close out this round as they are in overtime. Answering bomb from Fury, unable to find anything, but he will make it back into the mech. So far, an exchange on the Rhines with Sharyk and Gesture both get taken down. Sound barrier shield's going to be expiring. Now still pushing forward, looking to finish off I'm 37, but he can't quite get him. And Prophet's going to be taken down. Now Fury way into the back line towards the spawn. He's going to get popped out of the mech. Spitfire in the meantime have been able to flip this point into their favor, but now they have to try to win this extended fight. And that's going to be with the grab coming through. Transcendence going to be expired, but Bedosin and Fury instantly getting melted down. The Shatter not going to be able to find much else other than Gods. The flip back through, OT ticking away. Looks like we got one more round of Ilios coming up as Toronto takes Bruins.
Very well played by Toronto, especially considering the setups that London had. That bait with Gesture was, the coolest thing we've seen this map so far, where they were able to grab Sharyk there before the trance could come out, putting him in that Graviton Surge, knowing he would be low in that neutral fight there. But the Defiant held strong, and they punished London Spitfire's aggressive positioning. Nuss caught a few times trying to look for those chasing kills. And that's a huge difference between Nuss and Aid in this Lucio matchup. Nuss is extremely proactive. He's up on the high ground. He's chasing kills with speed boost. He's not always with his team. He's trying to secure kills. Aid plays passive. He plays defensively. He's mostly on healing song more than compared to other Lucios. And sometimes that defensive style can really come up big for you when London overextends.
Well, now Winston going to be coming out, Gesture matching. So still just going to be having this mirrored 3-3. Sharyk jumping into the back. Drops that bubble to try to stay safe. Just trying to cleave as many people down as he possibly can. With Aid's help, they will be able to eliminate Gesture. Murdering falling low, Prophet going to be taken out. All of this, 2 kills, only at the cost of God's mech, and he's nearly halfway back to making it back through. So first cap here on Well, going to be going the way of Toronto Defiant again.
Aid picks up another kill onto Nuss. He's leading Nuss's healing by 2,000 at the moment. And that just goes to show his playstyle. More defensively playing, like you're playing dodgeball to catch the ball, not hit your opponent. And the Spitfire come into this next push with not a lot of tools. Again, Prophet leading in ult charge, but they don't have positional advantage.
Just waiting here. Sharyk Knows that he's nearly got that primal online. Drops the bubble again, pushes forward, now has the ult ready to go. Gesture going to be sitting at 60%. Dive into the back, he's looking for some targets to go down into that well. Prophet will be able to get rid of Ivy, so that's going to be a very nice first step here, but jump into the back with some help from Neko means Medosin will get taken out. No chance to use that Transcendence. Point still in control of Toronto as they push forward and manage to finish off Birdering. And London Spitfire, they're just hemorrhaging members here on these attacks, but now they're going to be coming back in with 6 ultimates.
And had Ivy not died, nor had IM37 used the rally, Defiant would be in a perfect position to hold this. Even still, they have the Transcendence to deal with Prophet's grab. It's going to have to be a really long fight that Spitfire wins, where they're going to have to use their support ultimate second and win that longer fight. But either way, Defiant gets so much control percentage because of this. So it's kind of win-win for the Defiant right now on this defense.
Building up that energy is Prophet, sitting at 50 at the moment. Grab online, surges up to 90 very rapidly, and Shark's got to get the heck out of there. Leaps up over the wall to keep himself safe. Bubble in, Primal out now from Jester as he tries to go into that back room, trying to get some knockoffs, but a lot of CC coming through, a lot of damage to be offered up onto this Winston. Will be able to force out the Transcendence. Now it's going to be the bomb coming up over the top. Unable to find any kills, but Fury will be able to make it back into the Mac. Aid getting tagged up, just trying to stay alive behind that wall. Will be able to do so for now. Grab coming through. Ivy managing to catch a few. The bomb drop from Gods takes down Nuss. 2 members the advantage now for the Toronto Defiant. Fury alone in the back line again. For the umpteenth time, it would seem. Might just, will get popped out of that mech and will be eliminated. And here we are, 99-0 at the moment. The London Spitfire unable to flip this point whatsoever in this final round. And Toronto Defiant look to take the first map in this series.
Playing such a defensive style, punishing Nuss there with the bomb. One last chance here for the Spitfire now with no ultimates, and it doesn't look likely.
They have to stay glued to this point. That OT going to start ticking away very quickly. Pile driver in from Fury. It's a couple knockups, but needs to still wrap back around and play onto the point. The adaptive shield going to be used. Nuss going to be taken down. Transcendence out from Medosa now as they try to miraculously swing this back into their favor. Lob in on the grab from Ivy. Catches Jester. He'll be taken down, and that's going to be it. The rest of them zoned off the point. Toronto Defiant. They'll be able to take Ilios with a 2-1.
Knowing their win condition, knowing they had to use their support ult second there, taking a decisive fight from the defender's standpoint, stepping off the point even. Great play from Toronto.
Well, another fantastic start to a series here for Toronto. Let's see how far it goes when we come back to the next map.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Defiant kicking off this series with a victory on Ilios, now setting their eyes towards Assault. We'll be diving into Volskaya very quickly.
You know, the healing numbers still massively favored Aid at the end of that, 3,000 above his opponent in Nuss. And that's extremely rare for when you're winning a round for your healing to be that much higher, because usually your opponent's Lucio is a higher healing, or at least very close to you, because they've taken more damage overall, especially when you're looking at a 100-0 situation like we saw there on Well. And that playstyle that Toronto is rolling with, reactionary, is working very well against a very aggressive Spitfire today.
So far, so good here. We'll see London set up on the defense here from Volskaya. And, another negative record for them coming into this map. 1-2 at the moment. I believe it was 1-3 on Ilios there at the start. So, not quite the map draws they would have liked, but have to be able to overcome those statistics, put those wins on the board.
So not going to be rolling with the Winston defense here, keeping it a little bit more standard. I want to keep the Rhine, and they are running the Ana, predicting that we will likely see some sort of DPS variation here, and it will be the Sombra Pharah.
Yep.
The Tracer.
I'm 37, just taking some pot shots here with the Widowmaker around the side. Mr. has that shield raised. Spadosin saw it get tagged up. Would have loved being able to weave that shot in, but instead seems like Neko might just have his back. Bionade's going to have to be used, as well as that armor pack. We'll be able to keep the Ana alive. Neko not willing to use that recall yet, but it's going to have to try to get the heck out of there now. Fury chases forward onto that Tracer, try to finish him off.
The crux of a composition like the one that Defiant is running is killing a target early. Usually Ivy will chip away at someone and they will go finish them off. Then you can win the fight. You only have one support, and that's Aid on the Mercy here. You're dealing with a ton more healing and a ton more sustain, bigger health pools on the side of the Spitfire. So if you don't get a kill early, Spitfire is eventually just going to clean you up because they have more sustain, they're harder to pull off the point, and they're building ultimates too. So this is a little bit scary if this push doesn't work out.
You can see just playing back into the garage, playing into that pack room here at the front. Just denying any sightlines away from I'm37, making him go into a collapsible position if he wants to try to get some shots off. That being said,
Huge
though, Fury's
opportunity.
going to be knocked out of that mech. The bomb not quite going to connect there from Neko, but they managed to finish off the Baby Diva. Recall comes through. Neko straight back in, just continuously getting tagged by Spadosin. Forces him back away from the fight. Prophet is able to equalize a bit as Ivy gets taken down.
Looks like there's a res going to happen here. EMP's ready.
37 taking down Birdring. Big opportunity here. As Gods, we talked about this in the beginning. Do we get to see his Sombra play?
Yeah.
When he's here, he's ready. Minefield coming down to try to keep them contained inside. Well, several of them are going to get cleared up here at the start, but already 1.5 ticks going to be snagged. 3 members going to be hacked out on the side of London as that EMP drops. Prophet wasn't one of them, but he still gets taken down nonetheless. Ivy wraps around the back, looking for a potential target for this barrage that comes up over the top. Knocks Fury out of that mech now, does not have to worry about a defense matrix. Trying to take him down naturally, holding on to the ult.
He wants to use it for B if he can. He wants to be greedy here, and it's going to work out that way.
Well, Jester going in for the pin. That means he's going to be pushed off the point here for the moment. They continue to slowly tick up, but now Aim and I'm37 both going to be eliminated. Ivy falling low, going to get cleared up, and because he doesn't use the barrage, that might have actually cost them this attack here on A.
You know, that was it. You were so right about that. If they used the barrage, they guarantee A. They got greedy, they wanted it for B. But the same reason I just described as to why it gets hard to win this is once everyone from Spitfire respawns and gets back in, you don't have sustainability with the Defiant comp. The hack wears off. All the Spitfire to do is stick to the point like glue. Gesture and Fury did just that. The rest of them, the slower members, respawn and walk back to A. Now you have fantastic position. You can deal with the barrage without an EMP. Gods has built that, so that's the next combo you're worried about.
Pulse bomb lobbed in there by Neko. Unable to find anything. Birdring just going to be raising that shield. Staying safe here for the moment. Neko actually going to be taken down. Fury comes up with that kill. And you can see Toronto Defiant starting to peel back over towards their spawn again, but I'm37 still going to get cleaned up, so it's another stagger, and there's only 44 seconds left.
And Nuss this time has the sound barrier critically. He was missing for the previous EMP. It was around 70%. Gods is going to get taken out. That's huge. He's going to have to reset here, and that means that they've got one last chance, and the whole crux of this push is going to be around the EMP barrage. Sharyk can drop in the mines to try to keep the point held because they don't have healing to do that. The mines are going to have to do that. But it's very obvious what they're going to do, and all Nuss has to do is hide. Barrier, they've got a nano boost for Gesture. This seems very holdable for the Spitfire.
Gesture just getting topped up here. Toronto makes their way over onto the point. We're able to grab those first 2 ticks, so they start close to their goal. Minefield going to be dropped in by Sharyk, trying to keep them all gated away. Ivy drops in with a barrage. Prophet going to be taken down, but not able to come up with that kill from range. But Ocean's still just sitting in the back here in the garage, just taking pot shots, but keeps everybody else topped up. Trying to get the sleep dart there onto Gods as the EMP does come through. Get just 4 members, but Nuss comes in with a sound barrier to try to close out this full hold here on A. As aid keeps going lower and lower, things start looking good. They can't make it back in, and London and Spitfire will be able to hold this.
You could see some potential language issues here as Ivy, Sharyk, and Gods, 3 ultimates used separately of each other, not in conjunction, not in full coordination, and London Spitfire bring it back for the full hold. What an incredible turnaround.
Well, let's see how they fare on that attack. Just have to beat 93.7%.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Securing the objective.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. London Spitfire able to successfully full hold on Volskaya point A. Toronto Defiant, they build up to 93.7%, but now London just have to exceed that ever so slightly, and we will have a tied-up series 1-1.
Birdering with a pretty clutch stun. I was watching that last little highlight we had during the break onto Gods, right when the barrage was going down. You would think that he was trying to set up for an EMP at that moment, but he wasn't able to do it because he got stunned. Looks like Spitfire wants to match the composition here. I don't think Benotion will be sticking with this Ana if that's the case.
Scouting for the moment, it would seem. Gesture. We know this man's accuracy on the Widowmaker, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that.
When you've got 4 minutes to do this, why try to run the quad DPS when you know that in a 3-3 setup versus the mirror, obviously God's on the Sombra here, so slightly different, but when you're running basically mirror comps here, you know you should be able to get ults at least once, and all you need is 3 ticks and it's over. So cut the risk out, play safe, you have a massive advantage.
Well, for now, just trying to farm up. That's 34%. Gesture just taking a quick nap.
Let's see what Gods can accomplish here against a 3-3 now on the Sombra. You know, this is a really big test for him because he's going to have to be the one that cheats ult economy and brings them back from the brink here and gets them a fuller hold.
Well, instantly taking a lot of damage there from Prophet. The rest of them, Sharyk is going to be taken out in the front lines, and Gods just now exceeding 60%, getting closer to 70 towards that EMP, but he needs it right now. They do not have time to waste, and seems like he's just not going to get the opportunity. Will get taken out by Prophet. The cleanup coming through. Neko, all by his lonesome, will be the last one to go down, and London Spitfire will tick up to victory. The series about to be tied 1-1. Sharyk, he tags in for just a moment, but that's all she wrote for Volskaya. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands.
Practically no contest from the Defiant there. Gods didn't even have enough time to build an EMP. Sharyk is once again isolated and killed, and that's all it takes. We've got a series on our hands, as you say, all tied up.
And we'll see who takes the lead when we come back. We'll see you guys on the other side of halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network. T-Mobile. The Toronto Raptors took down the reigning champs last night, and right now we have the Toronto Defiant trying to take down the 2018 reigning champs in the London Spitfire. So far, if you look at these numbers, pretty even. But this match, I feel like Spitfire's still the heavy favorites, right?
Yeah, they definitely are, and they did show that on that second map where they were very much the favorite there. However, the first one, unexpectedly, in my opinion, actually was not a one-sided affair. I was very impressed what we saw with, from the new faces, and Sharyk played really, really well. Gesture on the other side did not have a fantastic game. However, I did like that we see Nuss back in there and not Quartermain. I do think that London Spitfire do look better with him in the lineup.
Yeah, it opened up reasonably well, actually. I think London Spitfire are winning a neutral game pretty often when it comes to the battles without the ultimate.
You just wanted to say neutral. Okay,
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It's my favourite term. But as it went later into the series, the Toronto Defiant kind of had their numbers. A big part of this as well being Neko, but rightfully so, as you were already saying. Sharyk and Gods are playing even better. This is part of the reason why I predicted them today in the pre-show, because I had a feeling they're going to start meshing better with them as time went on. But
since you just praised Neko, I want to put him back down.
Do it.
And
yeah,
really
because I
heavily
was about to do the same.
criticize that Tracer was that. No, I don't want to see that again. Later in the game, he had to switch over to Ana. Still didn't really got anything done there either. So that was not a good showing. Just as we wanted to praise him for that first map, second he really fell flat.
The entire DPS composition was just bizarre. Like, it felt like Toronto Defiant didn't really know how to play it as a composition, right? The entire idea when you're running like the Sombra, when you're running a Tracer, a Widowmaker, you're trying to collapse around the map, trying to remain spread, so nobody really knows what to really focus, and you're going to try and collapse on the target. And there was just no coordination. The entirety of that second match.
Still missing. You got to wonder, is it a communication problem? Not enough time with each other? We'll figure that one out.
Yeah, they will have to figure it out, but we have to give them that much credit because, again, they've only had those two new puzzle pieces to work with, like, for a week now.
1 week.
So,
Yeah,
they still have some time.
You guys got time, but we do have to highlight two players in particular, and that, of course, is the Zenyatta. So, what do the numbers tell us?
Well, let's take a look at what we saw from both of our Zenyatas. Bedoshin going up against Neko, and let me actually get out of the way so you can see it. Because, so we have the average time to ult on Bedoshin's side has been incredibly quick throughout the entirety of this match, actually, which is very, very, very impressive. Other than that, I think Neko was able to kind of go toe-to-toe. They both didn't really get taken out too much, which is great for the team, obviously. But, yeah, Bedoshin just had a lot more free reign to really get stuff done for his team. Again, 56 seconds, like, that's an insanely quick time, really, if you think about it. He will have his ult for every single team fight.
56 seconds. Bren, You know the basketballs.
I'm aware of them.
balls.
Sure, yeah.
How many shots do you think you would make in 56 seconds? I guarantee you could not hit 3 free throws
3.
in 56
3?
seconds.
Are you joking?
Yeah.
You've seen the size of me. I'm a unit.
That
I've
doesn't
seen you-
mean anything.
I've seen you throw things before.
Yeah.
Sports not your strength, but
Doesn't matter.
we've got a little challenge here.
Yeah, your size will help you with this Zoe-sized basketball.
Can we please give 56 seconds on the
You're
clock, the
joking.
same time it takes to charge the ultimate for the London Zenyatta? Brent, you've already wasted 3. Go, baby, go. That's a throw. Keep
Feel
going,
free
bud.
to boo him. That's fine.
The crowd's getting behind it. I'm loving it. Come on, Brent. 1. You even got Kevin getting your own ball. Kevin's on top of it. Can we show some love to Kevin, our
So
stage
much
manager?
pressure.
He's sweating over here. Keep going, Brent. 30 seconds left, Brent. Go.
Well, this is going well.
Come on, crowd. Show Brent some love. Or continue booing. I'm down for either. Brent, 20 seconds left. You need 2 more.
No.
Are you done?
So
No, dunk it.
Dunk it.
clearly, guys, we are not
I did it
as
one-handed.
good at basketball as we are at video games.
I'm not gonna lie. This is actually way harder than actual normal basketball. Like
it?
that.
No, it's not.
Don't even laugh at me. This thing goes all over the place. Look how bouncy this is. Whoa.
Make sure you follow Brent on Twitter if you want to hear his full excuses. That's going to do it for us. Halftime, guys. We got Game 3 coming up. Can Toronto steal this one? We'll find out in
I
just a
can't.
bit.
일단 제 이 프로게이머라는 직업이 저의 첫 사회 생활이면서 첫 직업이었는데 미국에서 쭉 일하고 있는데요.
부모님들은 그냥 열심히 하라 정도? 그냥 이제 네가 할 거 일 찾았으니까 열심히 해봐라 그 정도?
주시는 것 같아요. 근데 뭐 제 입장에서는 당연히 다 부셔버리고 오겠다는 마인드로 게임 하는 것 같아요.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're currently halfway through this series between London Spitfire and Toronto Defiant. Currently tied up 1-1. Ilios going the way of the Defiant. Then bouncing back, full hold and utter domination on Volskaya at the hands of London.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a big turnaround, obviously, but the way that we saw them play Toronto on Ilios is very defensive. They played a very control-oriented playstyle, right, which isn't going to work as well when you head into a map like Volskaya, where they're running the quad DPS, so not running the triple DPS variation. Requires a lot of coordination, and London had it. They ran their 3-3, and they were able to find ways in and find weak spots against the somewhat lackluster coordination, to be totally frank with you, Achilles, that we saw from Defiant on that map. As we head to Hollywood, we'll see if things change.
Yeah, and I mean, the coordination is something that can be kind of excused to a certain degree. They do have these two new players coming in, English speakers predominantly, with I'm37 potentially having to bounce back and forth between the comms to help that communication be smoothed out. But it looked a lot better on Ilios, as you said, and then kind of fell off a bit on Volskaya. We'll see how they fare here as we move into hybrid. Hollywood coming up. We continue the trend of Spitfire not having good win rates on these maps. 0-3 at the moment here. But they got that win on Volskaya. Let's see if they can do it again here. We will have Toronto starting things off on defense, Fire on the attack.
They are going to be running Reinhardt, Zarya. Spitfire going to be running the Ana variation here, which is safe when you don't know what your opponent is running. See that they swap Badoshin right over to Zenyatta as soon as they see that it is, in fact, the mirror composition, because you're going to need the Zenyatta to deal with the opponent Zarya. And also, if you can get an early trance here in this choke, you could take the point off of that alone. We see it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, average time to build 55 seconds there for Badoshin, so looking very good. Okay, 6. If you really want to play semantics here. Either way, dangerously close. A second does go a long way in Overwatch League, but already the kills coming in for the London Spitfire, just kind of sweeping Toronto under the rug here on this first push. So getting ready to establish a very large time bank for the streets phase of Hollywood.
It's again just, like you said, a lot can happen in 1 second. And in this case, it was Sharyk once again getting displaced and killed. And the rest of the members of the Defiant are cleaned up by the Spitfire. Incredible time bank here. 5:30 to push this cart. So first fight win, which does happen on Hollywood, more than other hybrid maps because of the open nature of the point itself once you get through that initial choke point. But I gotta say, for the Defiant here, this is a consistent problem that we're seeing, and it needs to be corrected. Look at how far Sharyk is forward here, and he's gonna get punished by Nuss if this continues. Once again, they're looking to grab him. Look at the bubble early, and now they don't have it, and he's low.
Yeah, pushes forward. That's gonna be the shield bash and Profit. He's there to go ahead and get that final blow coming in. Sharyk will get taken down.
This just keeps happening.
All the way up to the studio entrance here. It's keeping them contained back. This is buying so much free space for them, and the ult's still waiting to really come online for the Toronto Defiant.
There are a few main tanks across the league that like to play forward. You're going to be focusing on killing them. Sharyk is perhaps going to become one of those faces if he keeps playing this far forward like this. They're always targeting him down. Here's the grab.
It has been trending that way. The grab does come in, but Jester's too low, so we can't push forward. Try to capitalize, get that swing damage coming in. Maybe even U-turn somebody out of the grab. We'll not be able to see that yet here. Bomb going to be tossed out. Shatter coming in. Catches Ivy over onto the side, but the beat's going to be good for the Toronto Defiant as they look to stabilize and finally stop this cart in its tracks. Transcendence used by Vidos to try to keep everybody alive, and Nusso holding on to the beat. Now going to be dropping it.
They can win this still.
As Jester does fall low, and now as they push forward, Birdring will clean up Ivy. An extended fight here. Toronto looking like they might have been able to take it, but Spitfire come out on top again.
Incredible play by Nuss. He sees that they are focusing Sharyk down again, and they don't have the damage without Profit. He dies early in the fight. They don't have enough damage. Nuss says, look at how low he is. I'm going to force this with this sound barrier. He pulls a sound barrier off. Sharyk dies. Now it's a 5v5 fight. We can win. We have the extra overshielding. Very well played by the Spitfire. Again, these split-second decisions. They're going to come to contest once, but with the choke here, I just don't think it's worth it. They're going to back away. They would have fed over way too much ult charge if they actually committed there through that doorway.
Yep, and a very rare sight here. 5 minutes on the clock as they cruise into B. Very fast indeed for the Spitfire. That great pace coming through. Shield going to be raised a little bit late. Manages to set up 2 into the back line with the Urge Shatter there to Sharyk, but Nuss and Profit. 2 members stunned, not going to be taken down. No one else for Toronto can push forward and try to capitalize on that CC.
Look at how aggressively Nuss is playing, trying to look for Sharyk again. Here's the bomb.
Bomb going to be thrown down. Sharyk going to get stunned to the ground, and even with that Transcendence coming through, it's not enough to save him. Jester claims the life of his enemy Ryan, now pushes forward, looks for a little bit more as I'm37 falls dangerously low. Haven't been able to finish him off yet, but they'll take Ivy instead, get rid of the damage, and now clean up the remainder. Cart going to start rolling through again as Gods gets left to his own devices in the back line.
It's just that classic combo, bomb shatter. The Ryan's going to have to look one way or the other, and when you're that far forward, I mean, to be fair, all of Defiant was, but when you're in the front line, I mean, you don't have much of a choice in this case, and all Spitfire is focusing you.
Grab coming out, the beat is there. Aid trying to keep his team alive. Jester going to be taken down. Now the charge forward here, Toronto Defiant finally winning a fight. finally stabilizing and stopping this cart for the first time since we started this attack on Hollywood.
Yeah, a bit overzealous there by Prophet. Saw blood in the water. Was hoping to get a solo pick as everyone was regrouping, but the response was good there from Sharyk. He's able to turn that one around. Gesture looks to go in for the charge, but gets taken out himself. They turn it around. Rally is probably going to be the next path of approach here for London Spitfire to try to build that grab.
Oh, Ivy throws in the Graviton Surge, but Fury, he does what he does best. Just goes ahead, takes away that grab. Ivy falling low, nearly taken out. Transcend is going to be used by Neko just to keep him alive. Sharyk approaching another Earth Shatter. Gesture has his ready, slams it down, but again, comes up with nothing. The blocks, at least from Sharyk, have been quite good. But Cart continues to push up, still with 3 minutes in the time bank here for the Spitfire. Bomb into the back from Fury, manages to clip Ivy. They take him down. I'm 37 with a sliver of HP, trying to survive. Shatters it from Sharyk, stuns up 2. Notion, however, going to be using that Transcendence to keep the fight going and try to keep it in favor of the London Spitfire, which so far, it very much is. Fury nearly gets taken out of the mech, but seems like he will be able to survive. Gods has nowhere to go. Will just get popped out of the mech, cleaned up. And they're getting ready to cruise in, just have to get rid of that Zarya. The rest of them grabbed off over onto the side, and London Spitfire make it look easy here on Hollywood.
Something's going to have to change in this series. We've already passed halftime here for the Defiant, but they are getting called out on their positioning fight after fight. And I don't know if that's something you could change between rounds.
Well, 2 minutes, 32 seconds of time to beat. Let's see if Toronto can do it when we come back for their half.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back. 2 minutes, 32 seconds of time to beat for the Toronto Defiant as they get ready to go on their attack here on Hollywood. London Spitfire making things look easy, and a lot of it on the back of Fury, who's doing some serious work with this diva.
Watch this grab eat. Look at this.
No.
Look at that. Right fine gesture there. Very long range. You have a lot of time to react to the voice line there. Fury is currently in total grabs, or rather total ults negated, 36 behind the tie, Janu and Choi Ho-Ben. If he gets more than 2 more, he'll take the lead. 2 more will tie it. Still the highest ultimate negator diva in the league per 10 minutes. Ultimate's negated, so doing very well for himself. And just shuts down that defense once again. With the Defiant now, you know, you feel the pressure. You really do as you head into this point. It's Ana they're facing here, so they've got to be careful about the bio grenade. Look at Fury from behind.
Yeah, that boop coming in from not setting him up to really get that separation. I'm 37, and Sharyk just did not stand a chance. And now London just going to chase forward, look for as much poke damage as they can get.
The way that D.Va is played in this meta has changed so much. I mean, it used to be you look for shatter bomb combos, you look for grab bombs. No one really looks for that anymore. You look for the defensive bombs a lot. You look for, you know, high ground control and flanks, like Fury is doing once again, to push everyone away. That displays
over to the side. This time it was a little bit riskier, but does manage to stay in the mech safely. Over towards the cafe. Toronto Defiant, they wrap around this back side, looking for an entry point. Gonna go back over. towards security. Now start inching forward here onto the point.
Look at Fury.
Nearly take it down.
Again, he's on the high ground. He's doing so much damage here. He's drawing so much aggro away, which gives freedom to the Spitfire at range here.
And they can't punish him. He still makes it back here onto the low ground safely through that staircase. Jester tagged up a bit, has the Discord orb on him. But Bedosian just waiting with an nano boost. Keeps him topped up and safe. Sleep Dart connects. That's going to be Sharyk. Knocked to the ground. Can they get the pin? This is a question. Not even going to try for it. Big bio nade connects onto 3, but now grab going to be coming out. Transcendence used. Probably wishing that they still had that bio nade. Gesture to get tagged up. Another one taken away. Fury just eating these over and over again. Denies that away from Ivy. Gesture still is the target of these Discord orbs, trying to push forward. Bomb coming out. Shatter gonna hit. Knocks 2 to the ground. I'm 37 heal denied as well from the bio nade. The cleanup comes through. The Shark will die again. Gesture just shield raised into the corner, trying to stay alive. Will not be able to do so. Ivy finds the kill, but that will cost him his life in the end. You can see Neko pushed off into the back lines. We might be looking at another full hold here at the hands of the London Spitfire. Still a little bit early, but they're looking very clean on the defense.
Furious smashing it. He is, again, the way DB used to play, control high ground only, look for consistent damage. Now you're looking for flanks, displacement, knocking the main tanks around. And once again, he's going to hide. Same place he's been, all defense long, right behind here. They're going to try to punish him.
Yep, another grab ready to come in. Oh man, another massive bio grenade out from Bedosian. This means that they just don't stand a chance.
You go in there, and then you're up against Prophet's beam, 100 energy he had at that moment. There's no way you survive. All the AoE coming through from Gesture's hammer, swinging in that choke as well. And Fury has the opportunity to simply fly away. And because they're running the Ana, he's got single target burst heals to keep him alive. So much sustainability. The strategy for the Spitfire is working perfectly. I mean, basically, there's no real way for the Defiant to break this without ultimates or changing the way they're playing this. They once again get faked this time.
So much damage coming through. Gods gets pushed off over to the side. The Shatter, however, coming in from Shark's going to be absolutely huge, but the beat from Nuss is perfect to help keep them alive. The Baby Diva going to be finished off the pin from Jester, unable to find anything, but now he can push forward. Has his Shatter ready to go as soon as that grab expires, but never mind. Doesn't need it. Just save it for the next fight, Jester. The grab alone is enough to clean him up.
And the trance being used here is the worst of all. That's something they could win the longer fight with in this next push. They could use that to out-heal the Spitfire with the rally they have as well. Take that longer fight, force a fight where it's just a head-on collision where they get one kill with all that extra healing, but they don't have it anymore. And that sound barrier is a long way away. One shot here with this grab. That's all they've got.
And no support ultimates here for the London Spitfire, so certainly could be another opening, but he needs this grab to stick. Fury, not going to be able to find a need this time. Drops the bomb defensively to try to zone them back, but he's going to get taken down, as does Gesture, as they drag him out of the fight with a Rhine pin. And onto the point now, starting to tick up. Bedosian's into the back. Gets that armor back for a little bit, but it's just not enough to keep him sustained. And suddenly it looks like Toronto Defiant have finally broken through. We'll be able to get this cap here onto A.
They have done it. Very close call there. With 2:32 the time bank, their A time is less than the finishing time bank here because of the overtime grab, but they have an opportunity to turn this map around. They're going to have to do it with basically winning nearly every team fight. The ult economy does not favor them overall right now, unless A can get a fight-winning sound barrier here and they use nothing else.
Gonna be looking for it. Shark getting juggled around a little bit as his Gesture. Shatter comes in, catches Bird Ring, answering Shatter straight into the shield again. They help team time, it would seem, for Gesture. The cleanup kills start coming through for Toronto. Like you said, need to win every single team fight. That's one of many more to come, but they get the victory and the cart can advance.
You wouldn't think that that was going to be the ultimate that was going to win it for them very ult efficiently. You would have thought, it would be the sound barrier, but he gets in there, gets the Shatter. What's the surprise of the Spitfire? Gesture panics, counter shatters, doesn't find anything. 8 gets to hold his sound barrier. Neko finishes his trance. Now Prophet's grab. Not so scary anymore, especially because he's low energy for this fight. This does absolutely look like it could be a momentum shift.
Well, I would still be very scared of Prophet, and already the grab's going to be coming through. Shark we caught up, but Neko dives down, jumps into that with the Transcendence rolling, trying to keep them all topped up now. Ivy hitting his straight on a Gesture shield. He's going to get dragged out. They don't have the shield to block it. That sets up for a double kill from Gods. Fantastic pin there from Shark. Takes Gesture out of the fight. They cannot block the Diva Bomb, and suddenly Toronto Defiant rolling through onto B. They get that time bomb. Again, less than what London finished with, but they can still finish this and have a chance to close out Hollywood.
Absolutely, that's the key here. And they are making this work. Jester gets picked. They are rolling with the momentum they have right now. They're chasing, staggering kills. It's exactly what you have to do if you're not playing to look for, you know, an okay time bait. You're not playing to look for, you know, I hope we can finish with 1 minute left. You're just hoping to finish with any time at all, but you're doing it as ult efficiently as possible. Chasing kills without using ultimates in this case. Gods controls high ground now as they hang around this corner. For the Spitfire, they just have to keep playing aggressively.
Yeah, bomb into the back, going aggro is Fury. Unable to find a pick, murdering, manages to finish off A. The beat comes through to help keep the Shattered members alive. Pin coming in, Sharyk just barely missing Gesture. Might not have finished him off, but now he's too far forward, will get cleaned up in Spitfire. They gain control of the cart here inside the studio.
But now it feels like the sand is slipping between the fingers of the Defiant. They're unable to grab onto that time bank they were looking for. The momentum has been stopped. Doshin has the trance ready for Ivy's next grab, not to mention Fury is one eat away from tying the record this season.
He's going to be looking for it. Should know that grab's going to be online, but doesn't have the D-Matrix ready to go. Shadow out from Gesture again, not going to be able to find anything in Gesture. Or Gods rather has the bomb up into the front. Birdring pushes forward, raises his shield, blocks that out for his team. Looking for the pin there. Gesture manages to knock one, but that's going to be the Shatter coming in. Takes Prophet and Gesture down to the ground. The ladder is going to fall. Fury with a bomb over onto the side, unable to clip anyone. Cleanup kills start coming through. Toronto Defiant going to be back on the push. London Spitfire now really just going to have to start worrying about if they can force this into overtime.
They're doing
40 seconds
exactly
remaining.
Right. Defiant are doing it exactly right. They need to be basically in the spawn of the Spitfire. They're chasing them away. Getting that kill into Prophet is huge. Takes his energy away and will force him to respawn. The cart is rolling through. The Spitfire, though, they can have so much delay here if executed correctly, especially once that trance and the sound barrier come online.
Already pushing Gesture down onto the low ground. He is isolated, taken down, but Notion just way too far behind with the Transcendence. Could not keep him up. Kill comes in, another grab, gonna connect. As Ivy pushes forward, 100 energy, Shatter for good measure. Sharyk knocks him to the ground to ensure success. Bedosin zoned out over on the back. Fury as he pops out of the back, gonna be taken down. 4 seconds remaining. Gesture, he tags back in. Can he force the overtime? They take him down. It will go into overtime. London Spitfire barely hold out to force down the time bank. So close were the Toronto Defiant.
That is massive. They need the draw now or this series is over.
Well, let's see what happens when we come back for this last bit of Hollywood. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing with no time in the bank, Toronto Defiant. The best they can hope for is going to be a draw here, which means that everything would be settled by our final map. Not out of it if London do go ahead, push forward, and get that cap onto A, which they have 2 minutes and 32 seconds to do so. But the pressure is on.
Yeah, and I did get ahead of myself earlier saying the series would end if they were unable to force the draw. That is not true. We'll have a fourth map. You and I have been asked since the Apex days. Still not used to this map order. It doesn't trip me up from time to time.
It's okay. We're from NA after all, Wolf, so NA casters from time to time. Here we go, pushing forward.
Well, let's see if the Defiant can, you know, hold this high ground. Make sure that Fury's not able to grab Sharyk, who's been the main target here. I like holding this high ground and dropping down only at the last second. Look at Nuss, though!
Oh, man, right up over the top, gets that massive boop. They take Shark so low, but they cannot finish him off. But now they displace them. Prophet makes his way onto the high ground inside the cafe. Drops back down safely, though, as he sees Ivy. Very juiced up at the moment with his Zarya. 100 energy. As I say that, first casualty will come through in the form of Godsmack. With the health bars as low as they are, London Spitfire will be suffering some losses. Nuss is able to find Sharyk, but I don't think that's going to be enough to translate into a cap. Bomb's still going to be committed, but actually take on Ivy, so maybe making me my words, just a little bit here.
So the Sharks down, they've got line of sight with the Zenyatta. If Badoshin comes up big, this is winnable.
Yeah, they're still pushing forward, looking for this fight victory. Neko going lower and lower, has to use the Transcendence. They force that one out of him, and Prophet nearly has to grab online. He'll be able to beat his way up to that as he keeps taking a lot of damage. Now push around the back. 100 energy for him, looking for a target, finds Gods. Sound barrier shield makes him a bit beefier. Pushes back in, and Gods just cannot mitigate the damage. And now the mech is gone. The grab will come through. Neko cannot survive. They have no support ultimates to try to sustain through this one. The answering grab comes in, but the shatter is good from Gesture. And London will clean up the Toronto Defiant, barring a 6-man ult from Gods. It doesn't happen. He doesn't get anything. They tick their way up. It's 2-1. One final map for London, and they will be able to take this series. Last legs here for the Defiant.
Great and clean plays coming out there from Badoshin, seeing his opportunity there, taking out Ivy, grab from Prophet, well executed. And that's all there is.
There is Escort going to be coming up next to maybe decide the entire series.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Pass into the iris. Pass into the iris. Pass into the iris. Pass into the iris.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hollywood now out of the way, and London Spitfire have a 2-1 lead over the Toronto Defiant. We're not done yet, though. We have at least one more map coming out. If Toronto can find success on our escort map, Gibraltar, if memory does serve, then we could go into a game 5 where they can try to get another victory on Control.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Toronto fans have to hope for, but it feels like the momentum has really shifted into London's favor now. I mean, even with the heroic attempt we saw for them to get in there with the time bank, London had their number. They played exactly around, forcing overtime, not trying to win the map, but knowing that with the overtime advantage they'd have, they should be able to take it. We're talking about the main tanks here. Between these two rosters, you've got a Korean legend in Gesture versus the rookie in Sharyk. And he's playing with a mixed roster, so it's hard to be coordinated. It's hard to not get picked off in the front. But when you look at these two stat lines, you can see that the healing received much higher for Gesture. He's able to bait a lot more with how aggressively he's playing. And I think that's the big outlier here in terms of these two. Shark's been able to get more stuns from Earth Shatters, but he hasn't converted most of those into kills, whereas you could see Gesture with less than half the Earth Shatters gets the same amount. That's the kind of value you're looking for. Doesn't matter how many Shatter stuns you get if you can't capitalize on them. And, you know, Sharyk only 2 deaths higher than Gesture overall, despite the fact that he has been picked early in a lot of these fights.
I mean, a lot of those shatters have been defensive ones while they're locked up into a Graviton Surge, so do get those hits in and no one can really get out to try to get the kills, but overall, it is an issue to see that they're unable to capitalize, but maybe because of the stat comparison here, how he's playing against Gesture, we're going to be seeing him subbed out and Yakpung going to be coming back in.
Yeah, Yakpung, it's been a little while. We haven't seen him since Stage 2, so very heavily criticized Korean main tank player for his aggressive play and his, low success rate with shatters. And as we head into Gibraltar,
That's right.
this is a gamble that the Defiant are taking. They're bringing in their old main tank, perhaps for his Korean proficiency. And I wanted to talk about this earlier, but Yakpung has gotten a lot of flack throughout this entire season for being over-aggressive, getting picked, dying early. And what does that sound like? It really reminds me of kind of a lot of what we were talking about Sharyk. So it may be that, more than just the stats can show, the tank line is not being supported properly, whether it's a Korean tank or a Western tank, a rookie player in Sharyk. Can't really fully call Yakpung a rookie because he's had a ton of offline experience in his career, finals and all that. But, I gotta say, these two main tanks have similar problems. And it's not just on their own, it's on the support line as well. And I think the Spitfire's playstyle could stay the same here, kill the Rhine first, and that's been working out so well them throughout this series.
Well, showing us something interesting here at the start. Fury on the Hawk. Just looking for that initial hook. We'll just go ahead and swap it back out. I mean, Bird Ring on a wrist, that was pretty much a dead giveaway. We probably weren't going to see them stick through with that.
Yeah, they're just trying to grab gods if possible, prevent him from boosting away with the Maywall. Cool idea, but, it's so common now that Defiant didn't play that aggressive, didn't get caught.
Well, here we go. Start slowly pushing down the ramp into this little underpass. Over into the side room. Danger looms, but so far, Toronto able to find that first pick as Prophet will be taken down. A gesture. The HP bar not looking too solid, but neither is Neko's as he will be eliminated by Fury coming in from behind with those rockets. He's hounding him down. Aid now also going to fall. No supports here for Toronto Defiant. Charge coming up from Yakpung. Will be able to take down Medosin. Turns around. He gets a shatter.
Welcome
Yakpung.
back.
Oh, man. Welcome back indeed. Might have just single-handedly turned that one around, and he has.
Well, he has certainly silenced the critics, at least for the moment here. As he comes back in, Toronto fans everywhere were probably concerned about how much of an impact he would make over Sharyk, but suddenly, the man is back and hits the big shatter.
The 180!
Completely have to regroup here. And Prophet, almost no ult charge here for Saibi, having the full grab available. They can use this to hold this choke right now.
Well, an incredible play from Yakpung, but an early kill here.
There it is.
On I'm37, the grab does come through. They push forward. This is going to be taken down. Bomb out from Gods, unable to find any kills, but will make it back into the back safely alongside the help of Aid with a sound barrier.
Another shatter
comes in. He knocks 3 to the ground. Fury's taking a nap. The extended team kill comes through, and Toronto Defiant holds strong.
Huge smile on Neko's face in that moment as well, knowing that this was just the ultimate way to hold Spitfire in this lower dip of the map. You have the ability to grab and then chase the retreating members as they're trying to regroup. Finally, the coordination starts to feel like old Toronto in a lot of ways. And as we head into this now, Spitfire, they're going to have to make this grab valuable. There's no transcendence. That's how they're going to get A here, is off of this grab. He cannot be picked, and he needs that energy.
Yep, God's going to get tagged up here from that high ground. Really good restraint being shown here from Toronto Defiant. They all peel back. They know that they don't have any ultimates at the moment. So have to show respect to London, give up a little bit of ground, and then try to contest the card again.
They don't want to give any energy to Prophet either, because they know this is their, most terrifying moment is this grab.
Does come through Ivy. Solo ulted, and Bird Ring able to find the kill. Toronto Defiant still going to be looking to come up with a victory in the fight. Fury sleeping for now. Neko able to nail him with that sleep dart. After getting the bubbles, trying to stay alive. Yakpung falling lower and lower. The fire strike will finally finish him off as London looks to advance through onto A. So they will be able to do just shy of a minute on the clock there. Now going to get bumped up to 325.
It's not terrible for Defiant. They did buy a lot of time there. They do walk away with almost all of their ultimates. Neko obviously swapping back over to the Zenyatta. Yakpung gets staggered because he got split spawn.
Yep.
But with the Spitfire, the biggest win is that you only used a grab, and you've got another one ready because of the way that fight went and how long it went. The Prophet at high energy was able to build 70% further. For the Defiant now, taking this high ground away is not going to be easy. In fact, nigh impossible because they got staggered so much and the split spawn on Yakpung. They couldn't contest this. It's all on Gods right now, really, to take this back. And I don't think he can do it, not alone.
Drop down through gesture again. Shatter going to be blocked. Sound barrier comes out from 8. They insert themselves in behind the cart. Still swinging away, unable to find any kills so far. Prophet pushes forward. Grabs are going to be out from either side, as are those self-destructs, but Fury going to be taken down, so Gods comes up with a kill in the fight. You can already see just how many ultimates have been used. Answering shatter from Yakpung! He does it again! 5 members, everybody on the London Spitfire knocked to the ground. The kills come through!
And not to mention, in the previous fight, Gesture dropped behind the entire team on a 180 turn to block Gesture's high ground drop down shatter. Incredible reaction time from this player. He's got an anti-shatter block there, and then he turns his way around to a big shatter, his second massive one of the game, 3rd overall, and now they've got the high ground back, and that is exactly what you want as the defenders on Gibraltar in this meta, especially Sombreless. This is exactly where you want to hold.
They have to respond soon here. Yeah, Fury just steadily pushing that cart up and around that final corner. Full drop down here for both teams. Just trying to get that shatter online. I mean, already Yakpung, I think he's got more knockdowns and kills from Earth Shatters than Jester has in the entire series.
Earth Shatter kills this map alone.
Yeah.
10.
Solid
More
stuff.
than double of all that Sharyk was able to accomplish before.
Fire strike through. Yakpung just trying to get that next one online. Still quite far away, so London Spitfire can probably breathe a little bit more easily here. Will be grab for grab coming online very shortly, with both Zenyatas holding on to Transcendences. Down under a minute, grab comes out, Gesture stunned up, falling low as is Nuss, but the focus fire just not enough to get a kill here. Trans going to be expiring. God's dropping the bomb in front as the grab comes out from Prophet, just trying to zone them back. God's still going to be taken down by Vidocin, denying the remake from the Baby Diva. Shadow going to get dropped, finds Gesture alone. That's not going to be enough here. You would expect with Toronto Defiant as Yakpung gets juggled into the back, going lower and lower, and finally taken down by Prophet. Cart halted here for the moment, but Aid will get taken down. They will continue to advance. But down to the wire on the time bank again here for London Spitfire, but a second lease on life, 1 minute and 50 on the clock.
Yakpung doesn't hit the big shatter that time. The biggest issue is that the card is rolling for free now because they heavily committed to that defense and to the delay. Prophet beefs his energy back up to high. They have, caught up mostly to Ivy in terms of Graviton Surge Charge. There's not much you can do to hold this zone itself without ultimates. They're going to kind of have to let London roll through. At least Ivy's trying to get the last part of the grab. Greedy, but it does work out. He's got it.
Bomb thrown into the back, trying to maybe set up for a shatter here, but the grab comes out from Ivy instead. Sound barrier in response as well. The Transcendent's going to be stacked on top of each other, but 8's still going to be taken down. The Toronto Defiant still suffering members. As London Spitfire continue to aggress. Grab now coming in. Transcendence is out from Neko, but Ivy still going to be focus fire, still going to be eliminated, as is God Smack. Both Ryans hit the ground, but only Gesture is standing back up as they continue to push. London Spitfire, 55 seconds, still holding on to 3 ults.
I mean, that grab from Ivy, he built it, but he wasted it. He threw it in haphazard. There was no way to follow up. It's another tool they don't have here. And this looks like the beginning of the end of this attack.
Bubble out onto Aid, but instantly gets melted down. Godsmack, same story for that. They boop Yakpung up into the air. They nail the shatter. Gesture. Again, that's that on the board. Just a little bit more here. Neko will swap over onto the Wrecking Ball. But the kill's just going to get cleaned up here. Grab for good measure in case anyone tries to make it back. London Spitfire will be able to finish Gibraltar with time in the bank.
Still winnable for the Defiant.
Absolutely.
It absolutely is, and their strength certainly showed on point A, playing around Gesture, using Yakpung's unique angles for shatters and his completely different playstyle from Sharyk. Getting in there, getting those stuns when Gesture is looking to also hit his, getting the counter shatters several times. But the big difference here and the big challenge for the Toronto Defiant will be making that same success happen as the attacking team, where you don't have setup advantage, you don't have high ground advantage, and you won't be able to play around Aid's defensive Lucio playstyle in the low ground as you approach, the same way you can as you're standing on defense. If they can repeat that performance, if Yakpung can come in and hit those big shatters, there's a world where they get the time bank needed to make this a winnable map. I mean, it still is, but I mean, a real winnable map. I mean, talking 1 minute plus is absolutely possible if they can have that same kind of performance. Easier said than done, as the Spitfire will take the stage with the same composition. No Ana.
No Sombra. It's going to be the 3-3, sticking to it through and through. 25 seconds, time to beat Toronto. I mean, if Yakpung can have a continued performance like we've already seen from him, this is highly winnable. It's been a fantastic return to the stage for him so far. Seems like it's just been spending time in the hyperbolic time chamber this entire time.
Yeah,
Drop down.
When your spot gets taken away, you've got to fight for it.
Yeah.
You've got to prove yourself. You've got to train in that hyperbolic time chamber. And we're seeing that right now.
Neko, again, just another Roadhog looking for a hook there at the beginning. Find anything, so swaps back over onto the Zenyatta. Drop down coming through very aggressively here from the Spitfire. I think he's that bubble just in time to keep himself alive, but I don't know how long it's going to last. Not very. It is clearly the answer, as Spinosin will be able to scoop the kill. Follows up with a double, and Gods, can he make it back with the mech intact? Nope.
Incredible lead here for the Spitfire already. Already Badoshin, basically out of Transcendence, is currently 26 seconds ahead. So almost a full 30 ahead in terms of ult charge build time. 1 minute to 126 for Neko. It means that Ivy, who doesn't have a grab, is super behind in that matchup. They may even be able to trance, because they can identify us. They may be able to trance before the grab is ready to build a second Transcendence if this continues, and this is just a disaster for the Defiant. Yakpung's built the same amount of ult charge, but he can't get into position to use it again on the attack. It's much more difficult to have those money shatters defensively.
After sitting on the bottom of the ramp, and this is such a high-pressure area for them to try to push through, taking damage from all sides, so have to wrap around, gain control of that high ground, then drop down to the cart. Need to make sure that everybody is synced in order to do it simultaneously.
Yakpung's trying to find an angle here where they can drop down then react. The Spitfire just not going to approach. They're going to play defensively because they can as the defending team here. They're not going to fall into the trap. They're just going to play passive. Look at how far back they are. Look, here's the drop down from Yakpung. The Spitfire will not fall into it.
Yep, Rally comes out from Birdering. I'm 37, getting ready to have his online. Grab comes through, catches the members of the Defiant, and Ivy just disappears right at the start, so further delaying that Graviton surge here for the Toronto Defiant.
And the trance is mistimed from Neko. Another tool gone. Badoshin, he built his trance so quickly, and it still doesn't need to use it. And the Spitfire will just rise back up to the high ground and back off, play passively.
I've been taking a lot of damage as his Yakpung, so the rally has to come out. Big split coming through. Badoshin actually going to be using the Transcendence here now to try to win this fight and rely on the sound barrier from Ness to try to survive the grab. Sharyk comes out as they turn the corner, gesture, knocks him to the ground. Fury with the bomb in to take down Neko. And London still could very well win out this fight unless Yakpung can hit another absolutely massive Earth Shatter.
And it's an incredible usage of the Shatter, negating that Graviton Surge in a lot of ways. You don't really think of the counter to a grab as a Shatter, but in this case it really prevented that follow-up damage. So Spitfire just being extremely ult efficient. This is their weakest point, right, where they don't have support ultimates, they don't have a Shatter, but Ivy missed his grab. It's not there when he needs it most right now.
Stun on the Fury, take him down to about half. Instantly the heals start pouring in from London. They know how essential he is. Have to ensure that he can stay in this fight. Guard continues to inch forward with 38 seconds left on the clock. Toronto Defiant, Transcendence nearly online. Yakpung down to half HP. Armor pack already on cooldown. Rally getting ready to come through. Yakpung just going to be waiting for the Shatter. Transcendence is out from Neko. Well timed to keep everybody topped up, and now it's going to be rallies from either side as the fight comes through. The Shatter straight into the Jester's shield this time, though. Yakpung unable to find any targets. Transcendence out from Badoshin as they push forward. Ivy 12% away, nearly. Has that Graviton Surge online, but needs it to land, and they need to get that follow-up kill in order to try to take this one away. Fury! He denies it again! How many times in this series alone can he do it? Takes that one out.
It's not enough,
Despite
though.
that, the cart will still roll through. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think Fury just tied the record or exceeded it with that grab eat. So still a huge moment for him individually, but also for Toronto pushing into A, keeping their hopes alive.
And even though they get through here despite Fury's record-tying grab, this is... Well, actually, just got the confirmation he broke it now, so he is in the lead, 39. So even though he now takes the record in terms of ultimates negated this season, the Toronto Defiant win the point. But the time bank isn't stellar. It needs to be better. We need to see them use this high ground to win another fight here, and they're going to drop down behind.
Straight in onto the card. Bomb's going to be coming out from Fury as the beat drops. Ivy trying to stay alive. Gets a little bit of support here from his team. So low. And the HP bar doesn't have a self bubble for quite some time. Transcendence going to be forced out from Badoshin. The Shatter drops. Catches two. Bird ring in front. Neither going to be eliminated. Answering grabs out from either side. Is everybody an amalgamation on this corner. But Yakpung comes up with the first two kills. Toronto Defiant. They go ahead, they fill up that kill feed, and now can start getting the cart rolling again. It is an 18.
I mean,
Still winnable.
Ivy not known for really intelligent grab usage, but that was a risk he was willing to take. He sees the grab come through from Prophet. He knows Prophet was stunned in the previous fight, so he knows he has more energy, so he trades the grab. He does more damage in that fight. He wins it from that. Really smart usage there. Quick thinking.
Starts up from either side. Another Shatter already there for Yakpung. Now no shield to block it, but no Rhine to drop the hammer because Badoshin trades it back and gets rid of him. Self-destruct out from God's unable to find anything. Both supports going to be melted down. And this is the moment for Toronto Defiant where you just call the retreat, say either get out or let them kill you because we have to reset. We've got one more opportunity to move that cart just 3 meters.
Now, you know, when you're looking at time bank here, it feels really tough for the Defiant to beat the time bank. They can finish the map, absolutely, and you can have a solid defense again. It's certainly winnable. Remember, A was their strongest point. For this next fight, they need to build the grab. So in order for that to happen, Rally will have to be used as the initiation. Knows Fury's behind, threatening. He's going to leave. He doesn't want to get caught. Rally will be how they open this up, and then the grab is going to have to be massive. Badoshin doesn't have trance. This is a winnable fight for the Defiant. Absolutely. As long as no one gets picked, they should be able to do this.
As long as that grab doesn't get eaten, Yakpung getting juggled around, going lower and lower. As Zarya Bubble starts pushing forward, waiting for an opportunity to use that Earth Shatter. Goes in for the pin. Jester going to get caught. One final hammer swing takes him away. Fury finds another one. Fury just stretching that lead as much as he can, but the fight still looks good for Toronto Defiant. Maybe it's a curse. He benefits from it personally for his statistics, but his team suffers a loss in the fight.
Yakpung pulls Jester out of the fight, kills him, and then that's how you know. And now he's split spawned as well. Massive. He's going to have to jump off. But he pulls Jester away. Then it's the follow-up Shatter. The grab being eaten becomes irrelevant because Yakpung makes 2 major plays that push them into a victory opportunity here. Remember, even with a better timing for the Spitfire, if they finish this, their A defense is good enough, they absolutely can win it because we saw how good it was just before.
Prophet.
But now they're down on ultimates.
Prophet being sneaky. He comes around the
Behind.
back. The grab comes in. Neko instantly melted. Bumper-esque moves there from Prophet. Slips around the back. They did not see it coming. Gods, he's just jumping off the side. Full reset here with his team.
Defiant now have to figure out how they can win this fight with a Shatter. They've done it so many times. But look at this setup here.
A little less sneaky from Gesture. But he's not about the subtleties here.
This is just buying time.
Yeah, he just wants to play up into their faces. Fury coming through. Fury around the back.
Same
Look at
damage.
the health bars melting down. Neko instantly crumbles. Now Ivy cleaned up. London Spitfire. They don't want to go to overtime rounds here on Gibraltar. They just want to close this out. There's so many ults coming up for the Toronto Defiant, but Spitfire might not give it an opportunity
If they don't get to use them on the cart, it might not matter. Or they're going to have to take a different approach here. They're spotted.
And now they're further away from the cart, which they have to tag.
They have
5
to touch.
seconds
I'm 37
remaining.
rallies to touch.
37. Sprinting forward, trying to make his way there. They managed to tag the cart. The bomb to buy a little bit more space. Forces London back around the final corner of the map.
So many ultimates wasted there to touch the cart, but they do touch it. It's going to have to be about this grab now. Badoshin's got the trance. Thus has the sound barrier ready. There it goes.
Comes in, this time not eaten. Maybe an ill omen for Toronto. We're going to find out. Shield raise, Yakpung stays safe. Transcendence now out from Neko. Prophet holds on to another grab, and this early usage could cost them, because now it comes in. Shatter is down, catches no one, and London Spitfire will win the fight. They will take the series. 3-1 in the end. Toronto looking better, but unable to get those crucial map wins on the board to try to get some more maps for that differential. London just take it at the end.
3-1. Not the scoreline they wanted, but this is certainly a big win for the Spitfire. Having a tough start on Ilios and then solidifying their advantages. I mean, really picking apart the tank line for those last 2 maps. I think everyone will have to wonder now is whether or not Yakpung or Sharyk is better for the Defiant roster, because we certainly saw a lot more success with Yakpung there in the end, setting up those shatters, playing a little bit more passively, not getting caught. And, you know, it's something we haven't really thought about Yakpung all season long because he has been underperforming, but, you know, with that great Gibraltar play, people will ask questions, they will wonder. But for the Spitfire, this is just one more win on the board. They are one step closer to trying to get to that grand finals.
They are. Crucial victory, crucial bounce back after that loss to NYXL. But guys, we've got Danny Lim down on the floor with none other than Gesture.
Thanks guys so much. What is up everybody? I am here joined by Gesture from London Spitfire. Gesture, why'd you stop dancing? Gesture was dancing. 춤 좀 계속 춰주세요. 춤 춰주세요. Alrighty. I have two questions. I gotta ask this question. So, you guys are actually coming out from a tough loss against the NYXL, but you guys got the win today. How does it make you feel to get this win against Toronto Defiant? 저번 주에 어떻게 보면 좀 되게 힘든 경기가 되었죠. 그 뉴욕과의 경기에서 이번에는 승리를 하게 되셨는데 소감 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
일단 저희가 뉴욕 경기에서 패배한 뒤로 다시 이제 이긴 첫 경기인데. 제 컨디션이 좀 안 좋았던 거 치고 아무튼 팀원들이 잘해줘서 이겨서 뭐 기쁘네요.
So it is true that we're coming off from a tough loss against NYXL, but today we got the win. I really want to thank my teammates for doing a really good job. I wasn't feeling too well, but they actually really did a good job of covering me, so that's how we got the win. Alrighty, next week you guys actually have a rematch against NYXL coming Friday. How are you going to turn things around this time? 다음 주 금요일 날 뉴욕과의 재경기가 있습니다. 이번에는 승리를 위해서 좀 어떻게 하실 생각이신가요?
저희가 뉴욕전에 너무 무기력하게 졌는데 이번에 돌아오는 뉴욕전은 절대 그렇게 게임이 안 될 거고 이길 수 있도록 많이 노력하겠습니다.
We did get swept by NYXL the last match that we played against them, but this time around we will make sure that won't happen, and we're going to practice hard, so be on the lookout. Thank you so much, Gesture. Back to you guys, casters.
Thank you very much, Danny. Always a pleasure to hear from Gesture. Very vibrant personality that guy has.
In and outside the game, he certainly is.
Yeah, I mean,
super fun guy.
A super kind-hearted, great player, but knows that there are some mistakes made today, some mistakes made versus NYXL, but they're going to clean that up. But guys, let's see who our player of the match is, presented by Omen by HP. I mean, it's really none other than Fury. It's hard to make a case against him, honestly.
I mean, he's not only did he negate a ton of Graviton surges in this game, but his positioning cut everybody apart, especially on Hollywood. But he was able to threaten high grounds on Gibraltar. Bombs coming through, punishing a lot of what Defiant was doing. And, I mean, overall, if you had to pick one player on the Spitfire, I think Fury had the most consistent performance across. And now, if you look at his stats here, 5 ultimates negated, that ties Janu's record for a single map, but that's number 2 to his own, which is 6.
Yeah.
It wasn't able to tie. So this isn't even his final form, but we know that he is capable of so much when he has that ability. Some of the fights he took it away to, they ended up losing, but you could see he's always ready, losing fight or winning fight.
And like I said, kind of became a little bit of a curse whenever he was denying those ults away. Weren't able to win the fights, but I mean, still a fantastic performance from him and the London Spitfire overall, cleaning things up. Toronto Defiant kind of bumping up their performance compared to what we saw from them versus Paris. So still looking forward to seeing how these guys develop over the time. They're going to have plenty of good matches on stage. They have some tough opponents, but we're not done yet, guys. We still have more matches coming up. We got Boston Uprising going up against the Houston Outlaws, the team that just took down the San Francisco Shock. So you make sure you stay tuned is what I'm saying. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey man, what's up?
You need anything for today?
Nah man, I think I'm set. Big day today, man? Yeah, huge. Let's play some Overwatch.
Into
There we have it, the Boston flags waving. We've got the fans in the studio today, live from Los Angeles as I nearly choke on my cough drop. Welcome everybody to the Blizzard Arena.
A lot of Boston fans out there. I think it's Boston Day. They're giving away a bunch of stuff. Luckily, they gave away a pair of sunglasses because I lose sunglasses. I like someone who loses something a lot. I don't know. I don't know.
You get the sunglasses from the supermarket. You know, they're just like $3. Yes. You don't care.
I buy them in 5-packs. Honestly, it's how often I lose sunglasses.
So one of those guys. All right, let's take a look at the standings here. We've seen this a few times today, but now it's a fresh match, Hex, and we got some fresh teams that are going to be getting to the stage. I think you guys picked up on the clue that Boston are going to be playing. Yeah, so that's good. They're in the 12th spot right now. Who's going to be their opponents, Hex?
All the way down there at 18, but do they feel like the 18 team right now? The Houston Outlaws. I mean, after giving New York all they could handle and giving their fans hope, they actually came through and beat arguably the best team in the league in San Francisco Sharyk.
The team that actually beat the Titans. You know, you see the Titans, they still got that goose egg in the loss column there, but stage 2 playoffs, they don't really count in those standings. Sharyk took them down.
Yeah.
So, yes, you could say the best team.
Yes. And if you're Houston, you need to ride the momentum of your most recent victory.
And, well, we actually have a few reactions here from the players themselves who could hardly believe it, and who could blame them?
This is the Outlaws' day. The Houston Outlaws defeat the San Francisco Sharyk.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's still shaking.
Yeah, I'm a little excited.
They get their first Map 5 win of the season, and they do it against the best team in the league.
We were the worst team last stage, like by far. and we took this month break as like a real time to like focus on what we did wrong. We were never going to give up because like if you're in the Overwatch League, you just can't give up. If you're a competitor, you can't give up.
It was definitely Dante's EMP Inferno today, and he gets some revenge on a team that dealt him over to the Outlaws.
It's like super satisfying to beat my whole team. Like I love them all. I'm like such good friends with them. It's just crazy. We actually beat them, the best team in the league.
The Houston Outlaws have finally found what it takes to take down top teams.
And a lot of people don't think that we could have done it. A lot of people don't think that we'll ever be good again. They want people to scrap the team and stuff like that. But like you don't understand